Your feet could predict your future. This simple therapy is changing lives over 60. Introduction. The silent foundation of longevity. Most people don't think twice about their feet. They walk on them, stand on them, perhaps occasionally complain when they ache, but rarely do they consider them vital to their long-term health. As an orthopedic doctor with over 30 years of clinical experience, I've watched countless patients overlook the quiet signals coming from their feet until a serious fall, chronic pain, or a permanent loss of mobility forced them to pay attention. What we now know, thanks to a growing body of medical research from institutions like Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, and Harvard Health, is that your feet can either anchor your independence or accelerate your decline. Chapter 1. When balance begins to fade. It starts subtly. Perhaps you begin shuffling slightly, avoiding long walks, or feeling unsteady on unfamiliar ground. These may seem like signs of aging, but in many cases, the root cause lies in foot dysfunction. The plantar fascia loses elasticity. The intrinsic muscles of the foot weaken. Arches fall. Toes curl unnaturally. Each of these changes alters the way you move, and not for the better. According to the CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related death among adults aged 65 and older in the United States. Many of those falls begin with poor foot mechanics. The foot's role in postural alignment and gait stability is central, and yet, it's the most neglected structure in elderly care. Chapter 2. The Modern Foot Epidemic. Shoes designed for fashion rather than function. Decades of walking on flat, hard surfaces. Years of sedentary living. These are the ingredients of what I call the modern foot epidemic. The average American over 60 has already lost significant strength and proprioception, the body's ability to sense movement and position, in their feet. This atrophy doesn't just lead to pain, it reprograms the nervous system, decreasing joint stability from the foot upward to the ankles, knees, hips, and spine. A study published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that seniors with foot pain are over 60% more likely to experience reduced mobility and decreased quality of life. Chapter 3. The science behind foot restoration therapy. Foot restoration therapy, FRT, is not a passing trend. It is a medically backed intervention strategy combining strength training, mobility work, sensory stimulation, and alignment correction to rehabilitate the foot and prevent future injury. One of the leading protocols, developed at the Human Performance Laboratory at Harvard, includes progressive resistance training for toe flexors, short foot exercises, and plantar fascia stretching. These have been shown to significantly improve balance, reduce pain, and increase walking speed in older adults. Moreover, studies from Mayo Clinic and Healthline emphasize the importance of barefoot training performed on soft, safe surfaces to re-engage dormant muscle fibers and restore natural gait patterns. Chapter 4. Linda's story. Reclaiming life after chronic foot pain. Linda, a 67-year-old retired librarian from Austin, Texas, came to me with relentless plantar fasciitis. She had been through cortisone shots, orthotics, and physical therapy. But she still couldn't walk more than 10 minutes without intense heel pain. We began a structured foot restoration therapy plan at home. Within 4 weeks, she was doing toe yoga, using a massage ball nightly, and walking barefoot on textured foam mats. By week 8, her pain had decreased by 70%. But the most profound change? Linda said she no longer feared falling when walking down her driveway. She had reclaimed her footing both physically and emotionally. Chapter 5. Anatomy of a Neglected System. Your foot is a marvel of biomechanical engineering, composed of 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. It was designed for dynamic movement on natural, uneven terrain, not for stiff shoes or concrete sidewalks. When we confine our feet in modern footwear for decades, the arch collapses, the toes lose their range of motion, and the nervous system begins to ignore signals from the soles. In turn, the brain receives fewer sensory updates, making us more prone to missteps, slower reaction times, and instability. This cycle of degeneration is slow, invisible, and reversible. Chapter 6. How to start foot restoration at home. If you're over 60 and want to protect your independence, your journey should begin with your feet. Here are 5 steps to start foot restoration therapy safely at home. 1. Foot strengthening exercises. Begin with towel scrunches, marble pickups, and toe spreads. These activate small stabilizing muscles in the feet. 2. Daily calf and plantar fascia stretching. Stretch your calves against a wall and roll your foot over a frozen water bottle for 5 minutes. 3. Balance training. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth or preparing meals. Try to progress to a foam pad. 4. Footwear audit. Replace worn or overly cushioned shoes with firm, supportive footwear that doesn't limit toe mobility. 5. Sensory stimulation. Walk barefoot on safe, varied textures, foam, cork, soft pebbles, for 5-10 minutes daily to wake up sensory nerves. Chapter 7. What most doctors still miss. Despite growing evidence, many primary care providers still overlook the role of the foot in systemic aging. This isn't out of neglect, but due to the medical system's compartmentalized approach. Geriatric assessments often focus on cognition, cardiovascular health, or bone density but ignore the foundation that connects all of these, the ability to move confidently and pain-free. As a clinician, I urge my colleagues and patients alike to treat the foot as a vital organ of independence. Early intervention in foot health may prevent the need for walkers, wheelchairs, or even surgeries later on. Chapter 8. The emotional cost of ignoring foot health. What most research papers don't capture is the emotional burden of foot dysfunction. I've seen patients spiral into depression because they could no longer join walks with friends, attend their grandchildren's events, or do simple errands independently. In a study from the Journal of Aging and Health, restricted mobility was directly linked to increased feelings of isolation and anxiety in seniors. The path to emotional resilience often starts with something as simple as being able to walk without fear. Chapter 9. Stories that walk with us. I think of George, a 72-year-old former high school coach from Oregon. He once prided himself on walking 3 miles a day. Then came neuropathy, balance issues, and fear. Through a mix of foot therapy, balance training, and weekly barefoot sessions in his backyard, George went from walker-dependent to walking unaided in under 4 months. He told me, "I got my stride back. And my confidence." Real stories like George's and Linda's illustrate that foot restoration isn't about vanity or trend. It's about reclaiming your story. Chapter 10. Aging strong starts from the ground up. We often talk about aging gracefully, but rarely about aging powerfully. Aging powerfully begins with the structures that hold you upright: your feet. Strengthening the foot doesn't just prevent falls, it reactivates the entire kinetic chain. Better foot strength leads to improved knee and hip stability, reduces lower back pain, and even enhances circulation. It creates a ripple effect upward through the body. The foot is the root of the tree. Neglect it, and the trunk wobbles. Nourish it, and the whole structure thrives. Conclusion: step forward into a healthier future. Your feet are not just tools for mobility, they are instruments of freedom. Foot restoration therapy offers a science-backed, practical way to reclaim balance, confidence, and dignity. If you take just 10 minutes a day to invest in your feet, you may be preventing the next fall, the next pain flare-up, or the next hospital visit. And more importantly, you might be reclaiming your independence, one step at a time. Start now. Your future is waiting beneath you. Disclaimer: all content shared in this video and on this channel is provided for informational and educational purposes only and should not be interpreted as professional medical advice. Before beginning any exercise program, therapeutic protocol, or health intervention, you are strongly encouraged to consult a qualified healthcare provider. Individual results may vary based on personal health status and circumstances. We disclaim any liability for injuries, complications, or other outcomes that may arise from applying the information presented here.